Let's go down here. See what's down here. A cool party, yeah? A cool party?
Don't do that voice, bro.
That the bad voice.
I do love the America. Like Kentucky, home of fried chicken.
I like the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Very nice. Fucking, we can't do this.
Ohio, famous for the potato.
Famous Ohio potato, yep. Next, save me!
Oh man, Texas famous for Whataburger.
Yeah, Texas famous for Whataburger.
Just for context,
We're gonna get so canceled on this shit, dude.
We did this joke of just like it doesn't like we just do like an accent of like a foreigner and just like like someone's like, oh yeah, you're American, huh? What's your favorite part about America? And it's just this fucking guy just kind of stigmatizing like Americans. So like each state is famous for like something fucking unhealthy. So that's why it's just like California, famous for In-N-Out.
I cannot get enough of that Choco John's.
Dude, just like I could just picture like a foreigner seeing that as America and just starts naming off all the shit we put into our mouths.
Yeah, he's like not researched it at all.
Rocky Mountain oysters?
He just Googles the #1 restaurant in each country.
State, yeah.
Sorry, state, yeah. Fried butter stick at Kentucky.
Fried butter stick.
I love the fried butter stick. And Eye of Death.
Fucking moron.
What are you calling a fucking moron? I'm getting items, you fucking bitch! God!
I'm back.
Welcome back.
They were looking for you. The police. So I told them where you were.
Yeah. Where'd you tell them?
I said, oh, that fucking...
That fat idiot.
Yeah, that titty having big nose.
Oh my, look, it's an item and it's beautiful. Oh my god, it's a son of a brave warrior.
I want it.
Well, if I do say that is quite a good treat for this expedition, if I do say so myself.
Give it to me!
I don't believe I will, good man.
I don't believe I will. You fucker.
I don't believe I will, my good man. I do believe I'll be keeping this one for myself, if I must say so. Ow! I didn't know it could do that shit. What the fuck? It just fucking... Yeah, I got fucking body slammed. Oh god, the infinite babies. Little babies! Skelly kids!
Ah, hey, little kid. Anyway, little kid, what gender are you? I'm bi.
God. Honestly, though, this is such a cool entrance to a boss I've ever seen. Just a bunch of skeletons praying to the entrance of his boss room, and then just like... whatever the fuck these things are, just spears and wooden stakes just in the way. Do not disturb the Lord, they say. Nay, I say!
They're asking for forgiveness. They're
disturb
like,
away!
Please, Rave Lord, bring us into your next party.
Nope.
Yeah, he's like, I don't wanna. I'm not about it.
Oh my god, I lost so much health landing there. Oh, dude, I was just taking a nap, man.
Oh, this Adderall got me thinking.
This Adderall got me thinking questions.
Oh, why do I have a heartbeat?
Bro.
It's in my brain.
Look at how many skeletons I'm made out of. Isn't that fucking sick?
I mean, yeah.
My sword's made out of skeletons, too. I'm the sickest motherfucker you'll ever see. Look how cool he is! This ominous shadow with this fucking dark cloak that protects him or whatever the fuck. Look how cool this shit is!
This is like one of the like cooler looking bosses of the game.
Nito's so cool. Spinge Bing Squang Squooge.
Who's left?
Oh, who's left? SpongeBob's?
Yeah. The first one sounded like Smoker SpongeBob.
You got any cigarettes, Patrick?
What do you think Patrick would sound like if he was a smoker?
I don't know. It's SpongeBob!
You got a light.
You got a light.
That'd be so fucking wild. Mr. Krabs just laughs.
Mr. Krabs.
You're in my saw trap, me boy.
You're in me saw trap, me boy.
Shut off your legs and you can leave.
Saw off your legs. You drive me to drink sometimes, you know that?
I what?
You drive me to drink.
Yeah, drink what? Water?
Yeah. No, shorty pop.
Wimp. Whatever, fucking. Oh yeah, I forgot. You hate water.
Ah!
You're a...
Ah! A monkey skeleton attacked me and threw me over.
The monkey, it attacked.
The monkey attacked me, I sweated.
He's got on top of me and he says something like, I am travesty Chip, and he killed me.
What?
He grabbed my ears and he pulled them and I cried.
I cried.
I screamed, no monkey, and he threw it anyway. Get away from me, freak. I know you're really wanting to get that death count up because you want people to watch.
I'm not. What the fuck?
I know you're trying
At that
to
time, I was just
dodge.
I was just trying to dodge one, and then it was a pit, and I thought it wasn't a pit. Ignore that pillar, or don't. It's up to you.
Souls, easy souls. He ain't going nowhere.
When you're right, you're right. When you're white. No, I didn't mean to say it. My stupid speech impediment! I swear I have a speech impediment.
I'm not racist.
Dude, oh, what an awful time for that to pop up. Okay, so just to make sure the fucking the record's here and clear, I have a speech impediment where my R's and W's are mixed, and so sometimes when I say right, I say white.
I feel like that's pretty common, actually.
And I had to actually take speech classes in between math and PE in elementary school to learn it out of the way. And sometimes my brain gives up and it's like, nah.
Not on you, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, sit down, smell the dirt. I'm gonna go talk to Mr. Compresso voice.
I do find this game a little charming when, like, you notice some things about it that are like, huh, that, like, not, I don't want to say low effort, but, like, it's not really quality.
Right.
But I find it weirdly charming in the sense of, like, back when FromSoft was still trying to figure, like, the game making shit out. And now you look at something like Sekiro, you know, and you're like, holy fuck, like, they came a long fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, it's always mind-boggling to me, like, well, not mind-boggling, but it's always, like, a nice little, like, charming thing to hear whenever I'm, like, playing, like, the first game of, like, a favorite series, and I hear, like, stock sound effects that, like, you'd hear in, like, Flash games and shit, and you're just like, oh my goodness, really? This is here? That's so funny. Like, man, like, I just remember now, like, this, like, the current state. Like, okay, how about this? For example, like, I know that there's, like, that monkey sound that you can hear in Mass Effect 1 whenever you, like, hear a pie jack. Or, actually, that's Mass Effect 2. Like, that is such a stock sound effect. Like, you can hear that audio coming from, like, movies that were made in black and white. And it's just like, man, EA money really takes you places when you got budget like this.
Yep.
Where you have to reuse that shit.
Get you some of that EA money so you can put in stock effects in your game.
Yeah, it's big. Bottlecap said, I still think this is possibly the best, most thought out stamina system in any game. It's definitely up there. I will give you that. But best, most thought out, I'm not too sure.
What do you mean? What about Skyrim when you can take on, like, hundreds of people in a single fight? What do you mean, bro? Come on. That stamina in that game is big.
Isn't it crazy how, like, in Dark Souls 2 and 3, we can pretty much just stick with the same weapon throughout the entire game. We don't gotta switch between the two depending on what area we go through. I mean, like, we can, and it'll make it slightly easier, but, like, the difference between, you know, using a +10 pickaxe, you know, against enemies that are strong against piercing damage versus, like, weak against it is so substantial in comparison to like 2 and 3 that like, I just got this plus 10 pickaxe, but I'm going into areas where the pickaxe may not be as useful, and I'd be at a huge detriment if I didn't have a backup weapon.
Like if you were trying to use the fucking rapier on the skeletons, like it's gonna be doing like no damage because like they're immune to piercing for the most part. Like the skeletons, what are you gonna be stabbing their fucking bones with the fucking thing? Like that's not gonna matter. I'm pretty certain that is a thing in this game, right? Like I'm if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah,
like,
skeletons don't take very much
very
damage.
little damage, like,
but blunt damage does like crazy.
But blunt is huge.
Yeah.
So if you're not using like a crushing weapon, and for instance, like a divine one, so they stop spawning too.
Real quick,
like,
how do I? Which bonfire do I warp to get to?
Anor Londo.
Anor Londo. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, like, for the most part with weapons I use in Dark Souls, I always like to use the fucking huge greatsword.
Yeah, of course.
So, like, hitting a skeleton with that, it's like crushing, because you're bringing it all the way down into him.
Right.
So, like, for that, I'm like, whatever. But, yeah, that's something that I think I don't know why they got rid of it.
Yeah, me neither. It's, I think it's a nice little aspect, but I don't think the game, like, loses much from not having it either. But it is, like, a nice little thing that I kind of liked about this game that I find kind of charming, is just that, like, you can't always just rely on the same weapon all the time, because in certain situations you have to use a different one.
Yeah. Going back on that stamina thing, I've been watching this fucking guy that makes how to beat videos. So, like, of this guy, I think it's like Cinema Summary and like Nerd Explains. Like, look them up. They'll go through like a video or a movie, and it'll be like The Grudge. Like, how do you beat The Grudge? And basically, the only way to beat The Grudge is not walk into the fucking house.
Yeah, just leave.
Like,
do not be there.
Never enter the house, because the minute you enter the house, the Grudge entity like latches onto you and you're fucked. He was doing a few that involved like fight scenes and like constantly getting in one fight and then getting into another, and it's like the person is never exhausted. And he's like, well, there is a real thing where, like, I'm sure the character would want to be doing what they're doing in the scene, right? Obviously, like, you're going to want to fight back, but there is a point where you get so exhausted from getting, like, in 3 previous fights, you're not going to be as full cocked in that 4th fight as you would the first one. You're going to be suffering from fucking exhaustion and shit. But, of course, in movies, like, it's not fun to have that be a real detriment for the character. So, of course, they're not going to be suffering it. But he's like, in real aspects, like, this person would be totally fucked right now because, like, their arms would be fucking tired. They'd be exhausted and, like, wanting to just lay down right now. They would not be still full bore swinging, going ape shit.
Right.
On the 4th attacker, unless you did some, like, heavy fucking, like, body training, which, even then, that's still not enough. You still get exhausted. It's always just fun hearing that. 'Cause it's like, yeah, it is kind of funny when I play, like, I always think about fantasy games, and I always have to remember, like, the genre of fantasy itself, like, it's not going to be fucking realistic. Like, why does Geralt not get tired? Well, he's a fucking monster hunter, and he drinks potions. Like, that's not realistic. So,
right.
Like, you could always look at fantasy games and be like, that doesn't make sense. Why does the sword go on the back? That doesn't make sense. It's like, yeah, but it is a fantasy game. Like, it's meant to be fun over being realistic.
Right.
Like, in real life, you're not shooting firebolts out of your hands either. Like,
of course.
Unless you're fucking David Blade. No, I'm kidding. But I always just thought that aspect was really fun to delve into, the fucking How to Beat series.
I think that seeing movie characters not get tired, I would personally find it more of a good movie. Like, I would think a movie would be better for that aspect, like, if it showed the character, fighting and, like, getting tired and, like, I mean, shit, like, not to say, like, movies now don't have this kind of thing, but, like, movies back when, fighting movies were, like, in their heyday, like Jackie Chan movies, fucking, there was, like, a movie that Jackie Chan was doing, and maybe it's not as extreme or as, like, not as practical as you would think, but, like, so Jackie Chan and this other guy are fighting, and this guy is, like, he's, like, a guy who knows how to kick. He does all the kick moves, and they at one point like they're leg checking each other, you know, like the Da Silva leg check, but not with a broken leg sort of thing. And like after a while, they just keep leg checking over and over again to the point where the fight is just nothing but them leg checking constantly. And by the end of it, like they both just stop and like have to rub their legs because their legs hurt so much because they've just been literally bumping their bones against each other like for the past like 15 seconds sort of thing. And I always thought that was like a nice little detail. Or, you know, like fucking, I don't know, just if there was a movie where like Special Agent fucking Keanu Reeves was in a fight and he was going down a hallway and like he's doing his badass thing, but like as he's going down the hallway he's getting more and more tired, and like by the end of it like you can just see him like just basically using the last bit of his energy to just do anything to keep the enemies from hurting him. Like I would prefer that more than just him going through a hallway, you know, just tearing ass.
Yeah, Geralt's body being chemically altered and him also being like the fucking one Witcher to like be actually more susceptible to the treatments, and like they actually got to like fucking further it. So yeah, for sure, like Geralt would be a fucking crazy ass. That's what I guess that's what I mean though about the fantasy aspect, like.
But at least it's explained.
Yeah, like as far as like the fantasy stuff, that's why I don't really like give it too much shit when it comes to like exhaustion and stuff, because it is like a magical world that is supposed to be more beyond reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Skyrim, why isn't your character like getting like super exhausted? I don't know, there's green potions you can inhale that fucking
make you not, you know,
tired.
Yeah, you basically
like,
have lungs of air and all this other kind of stuff with you now. Congratulations, you win.
So that's why, like, for fantasy stuff, like, I never, when people are like, that doesn't make sense, like, why would Geralt have his swords on his back? It's like, it's fantasy. Like, it's literally the only thing I can say, and, like, some people really hate that fucking argument of just being like, it's fantasy, because they're like, well, that's lazy. It's like, it's not lazy, it's just...
It's
like
the truth.
How else do you explain it? Like, it's a world that is not realistic, therefore things don't have to be realistic. Like I don't understand. Like, yeah, sure, like in all sense of being practical, Geralt probably shouldn't be putting his swords on his back, but maybe the scabbards aren't like completely filled in the fucking books or whatever, you know? Maybe like they're like only there to keep the sword in, but he can pull it out like halfway out of the scabbard, you know? Like, that's how people actually make the back scabbards work.
I guess, like, one of the things that, like, I respect more about The Witcher's way of, like, like, the fact that it even goes through the trouble of explaining these fantasy tropes is, like, that's what makes it different from it just being a famous trope and it being, like, a part of the world, I would say. Like, not to put it into such a dramatic, like, I guess, point of view, but, like, you know, it's one thing to have, like, a fantasy game and you see the characters nonchalantly walking around with swords on their back and, like, wearing armor that's, like, ridiculously huge and using weapons that are ridiculously large. And it's another thing to go through a game that, like, at least explains the reason why they do it to you, so it's just, like, it gives you, like, a sense of more, like, world, you know? Instead of just, you know, like... I guess, like... when it comes to, like, fantasy stuff that doesn't, you know, go through the explanation of doing that, it's just like, here it is, clear-cut fantasy, but, like, when it's explained, it's like, look at this world, this is why you can do the things in this world that you can do. Like, it puts in, I guess, maybe, like, the possible idea of, like, if you were here, you could do these things too. It's not, like, putting, like, a veil of unrealisticness around it.
Yeah. It's just fucking...
I hope what I'm saying makes sense. I'm kind of rambling a little bit here.
No, I'm following. But it's just like... it's just wild. Like, when people have that weird fucking, like... Try to make a counter-argument to fantasy, and it's just like... it almost gets to a point of, like... a religious kind of feeling behind it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, prove that my shit's wrong. And it's just like, I don't know how to prove it's wrong, because I don't... like... Now me trying to explain it without, like, shitting on somebody. Just trying to prove something and the other person just isn't having it. And then it's just like, well, then why are we having this conversation if you're not gonna, like, try to see it from my perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, at that point, you're just talking to somebody who's just has
wants to fucking shit on something.
yeah, like who's just not a fan of something, and rather than just letting other people enjoy it, they want to try and convince people to not enjoy it as well.
Yeah, it's unfortunately like I don't want to say common, but like I see it quite a bit when I'm like looking at shit for The Witcher or whatever, and then someone in the comments section's like, it doesn't make any sense how.
See, guys, we could talk about stuff that's actually like kind of interesting and like has like impact to it. We don't just mouth diarrhea improv shit all the time.
See?
We're intelligent.
Like, it's the same though of like, I understand that like certain movies like John Wick don't do the like exhaustion shit because like
Sometimes you just want to see someone get
they want it to be fun, you know? Like, they want it to be, you know, seeing a man just fucking, like, be the best at what he does. And that's always fun to see. So I get it. You know, would it be fun if it was a little more realistic? Sure, but, like, I don't look at a movie like that and just try to rip it a new asshole, being like, oh, man, this is fucking bullshit. No one would ever be able to do that.
Where my problem stands is people who watch John Wick and say, oh, John Wick's so cool, you know, I can be just like John Wick, and then they go and be like, fantasy makes no sense. What magic's dumb.
If I ran into anyone that actually, like, I've never, I guess, heard anyone ever be like, I can be just like John Wick.
Well, it's not like they
that'd be
verbally
fucking
say
nice.
it, but like, you know, they think it in their head. They're like, "Oh man, if I was in that situation, I know exactly what I would do." Oh my god, I just know it. Like, if I was in a situation where someone had a gun to my head, I would be able to pull it apart.
I feel like that's most like fucking redneck grandpas that like do that kind of shit. That's basically me. I'm really cool.
Yeah, basically, I'm John Wick.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. I can do shit like that.
Maybe we can't summon each other because we have to die at the boss fight. Oh my god! I got demolished.
I think for the most part, except for the fucking Conjuring movies, like horror movies, maybe this is also just because I don't watch that many movies if they're not horror, but like horror movies I always felt like had really interesting ideas versus most genres of fucking movies.
I feel like
That
the
might be a
reason
hot take,
I feel like
but-
the reason why is just because the horror movie was at one point such a huge saturated mess that like in order to stick out, a horror movie had to be new in a one way or another.
Nice. That twinkling titanite demon was Spartan. Or that twinkling little shit was Spartan 117.
Fucking huge.
Spartan!
I'm Spartan!
What up, Covenant? It's me, Spartan. You'll have to get through there if you want to get to the ring or wherever the fuck.
You have to get through me if you want to get to Earth!
That's fucking Master Chief.
Yeah.
Be prepared for death, you
There we
fucking
go.
crystal boys.
I stabbed him in the butt and I got the tower key. Open sesame.
I knew you could figure it out.
Aw, look at this little snake. It's so adorable. Why is that one so, like, adorable in comparison to the other snakes? Look at these these disgustoids. Well, do you know the lore in those things? I remember they had lore that was, like, really sad, but I can't quite remember it.
The like fucking
The tentacle
squid
ladies?
people?
Yeah, the squid people. The squid kids.
I remember it being sad, and I think it involves Seath like experimenting on people.
Yeah.
Because like this is kind of like the whole point of this area is that Seath is just like fucked in the head kind of thing.
Yeah. I think he was experimenting on people trying to find a way to gain immortality, and these abominations are the result of his experimentations, and like apparently they're still sentient, they just don't know what's happening, I think is one of the things as well. Something like that. It's like some tragic thing where they're like, oh, even in their little horrible transformation, they hate being alive.
Yeah, they're huge fans of SpongeBob to this day.
Yeah, they fucking love SpongeBob. Were you just able to weaken the Oh wait, these aren't hostile. I shouldn't be killing these.
Nah, fuck it. Get the souls.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it.
Become powerful. We have to kill Gwyn, bro. You're gonna need him.
They live. They can live as disgusting abominations.
You don't think they'd rather be dead?
Yeah, well, okay, fine.
I'm gonna leave you to your fate. Being a little science experiment. Cool,
Yeah,
Eli.
die. Enjoy hell. 2 sunlights. Okay, well, it's a good thing I did it, because I got spells for that. I forgot to tell you guys, I've not gotten past this part in Dark Souls 1. I've known everything all the way up until this point. So, Nick is probably going to be taking more of a guiding approach to this from here on out.
And I'm gonna get you killed.
Yeah. He's going to say, open up this clear mimic. It's not a mimic, dude.
This one's definitely not a mimic. Try it out.
Super funny.